that you're seeing, which their gates are closed, it's not because they don't want to operate. It's because their money were squeezed and their purchasing power and economic power was squeezed by NNPC Limited. And this is the money that they were supposed to be giving this product to sell to the people at different situations, but this money was confiscated, and we are suffering. Our people members are suffering for it. So we bore the burden of subsidy. So our members are crying, but the few persons that have the capacity are able to still bring product and distribute. Do you know that from the day subsidy was removed to today, price have changed from 500 naira, you remember, now to 600 naira. Each time you see price change, the money that we are being paid by retail outlet owners to an NPC to carry product is devalued. Thank God for one or two other independent importers that have started coming in. Let us leave that for another day. I think we're here to talk about gas.
We'll talk about petrol as well. You chose to start with, even if my first question was on with regards to the gas. So all of these things you've said, how does it affect the one for gas? Okay, gas now. We are sure, okay, before I say we are sure, let me ask. We no longer produce gas locally?
Well, the issue of gas is something that is good for us to discuss today. Gas is assembled, or you may say gas is blended locally here. Mm-hmm. Now the question is, what is the position of gas economics in Nigeria? Some time ago, before the removal of subsidy on petrol, on PMS, long ago, subsidy was removed on AGO. Gas had not operated on subsidy. Gas is a free market, has been a free market. That is why LNG is succeeding. They are selling internationally. So along the line, in 2014, federal government came up with a gas expansion project. And the reason for that was to de-emphasize DPK, kerosene, so that gas will be available to our people. And they came up with this policy that filling stations should install gas plants according to different levels and different sizes, so that as they are facing that kerosene, our people, the masses, everybody will have access to gas, especially the cooking gas. When that program started in 2014, members of our PETROAN keyed into it. Along the line, due to government policy challenges and government policy somersaults, it affected that program and it was suspended. The gas expansion program became a challenge. The speed with which members were going to go into it to make this inaccessible was put on hold. And even those that had already installed, their certifications were put on hold. And that affected the speed with which we were supposed to go into gas. Meanwhile, the kerosene DPK was gradually withdrawn, causing a little chaos in that direction. Now, with the situation we found ourselves in 2018, when government eventually realized that we have to go back to that project, they came back to that project, but with stringent measures, making it difficult for common operators like filling station owners to be able to install these projects, these plants. And we said, no, let us have a public hearing. Standards should be made standards, not make it difficult, that it became easier for a thread to pass through the eyes of a needle than for you to install a plant. And if plants are not installed, how will our people have access to the gas? Okay. And we continued, not until 2022. It became, we now have until 2020, when the federal government now came up with the gas penetration program, the real gas expansion program, whereby it became a kind of compulsion, gradual compulsion, if you may call it, that filling stations should begin to install skid gas plants. And standards we are beginning to make possible. Even at that, the standards, the gates are still very tight. So what are we saying? Let the gas be available to the people through the right channels.
Okay.
And so if you're talking of the availability, we now begin to talk of where does it come from? Why should it not be available? Why is the prices going up?
All of these things you're saying now, is I'm trying to do the math in my head. while you're talking. So the major thing is, for now, you've just talked about hinges on availability or access for marketers to gas.
Yes.
So are you saying it's because of the poor access to gas by enough marketers, hence the price situation that we are experiencing, or we've experienced over the years of until
I was coming to the price situation.
Okay.
Now, I was talking about accessibility to our people. Now, if you encourage the installation of these plants all around, for example, within certain limits and within certain standards, maybe certain sizes to suit in certain places, now you go for that to say, how do they get these products? Where are the gas blending plants? Like in River State, how many do we have? We have one, for example. Now, where are they supposed to sell to? Should they sell to domestic market, or they should sell to international market? What is the procedure for purchasing? And all these things we are going to discuss and illustrate them this morning, so that you know where and how the price is being determined.
Tell us. That's what we want to know. Exactly why do we have increase in the price?
Beautiful.
Because all of these ones you are saying, the average person on the road will not understand
Good. So
what
we
you
are
are saying.
We are laying the foundation.
They're not marketers. They're just end consumers. What the end consumer is interested in.
Okay. Do I take it to say gas is being sold on international market level? There is no subsidy on gas. There has not been subsidy on gas. Now, when LNG or the gas blending plants, when they get this gas, they are not selling it to you for 1 naira or for 2 naira. They sell based on what is the market price of gas internationally.
So they sell with the dollar?
Yes.
Not with the naira?
Yes.
And that's why you think we're having what we're doing, because every time it's a fluctuation between
it will affect,
the dollar,
it will affect. But there is a way to mitigate against it in the local market. That's the main point I wanted to extract here. So if the price hike is affected by international situations, the foreign exchange, the international plays, and everything. That is what is affecting the price of gas. And if you come to think of it, some weeks back or some months back, gas was still somehow affordable. But recently, the prices of gas have increased. And when the prices increase like this, that means, listen, there is non-availability. Let me tell you, if I blend gas and I have the right to sell to international market. I have the right to sell to local market. And if I will sell to international market and they pay me 700 naira per kg, and local market is selling 500 naira per kg, everybody blending gas, all the gas blending plants. Yes,
are you saying that was behind the reason why we had more people exporting gas at times?
Yeah, at the time,
forced the government to say let's no longer export.
Exactly. So now they want to sell to international market and make their money. But if there is the market here is the same thing, they will sell to us here at that price. But if we have power to buy more, we will have enough product in the system. And accessibility.
When you say buy more, I'm wondering buy how?
What I mean by buy more is if they are selling to domestic market at the same price that selling to international market, and domestic market is large, and there is enough circulation of gas in the domestic market, competition will compel it to sell at cutthroat income, which means the price increase will not be so much. Because what another thing that will affect the price increase, when last week, before you load one truck of gas from a plant, it takes you like 2 weeks, your truck will be on the line. The product was not available. If the product is not available, it affects the price too. The process with which you go through to get it, you add the cost.
The price.
Let's say, for example, a driver is lodged to load, came from Kaduna or from anywhere to load product in 2 days in Port Harcourt or in Ogara, in anywhere, and he stays 2 weeks. He will be eating,
the company will
pay accommodation. The whole of the cost every of the cost will go into the cost of the gas. So what I'm talking about is market and availability,
right,
as affected by international pressure and foreign exchange issues.
How much more can Nigerians take is the question. We've already seen the increase in price of gas, possible increase in the price of
it's not possible increase, it's increase.
No, there's an increase in the price of gas. Yes. I'm talking for petrol now. we are waiting for it to be implemented. Have you people increased it already?
You mean for gas?
For petrol?
Petrol is already, well, if you check the price of petrol, it's already...
The show continues after this break.
Our conversation continues here on the Morning Crossfire. My name is Ifeemi Andrew. My guest is the chairman of PETROAN in Rivers State, Francis Dimkpa. We're talking about the increase in the price of gas and possible increase in the price of petrol. I was trying to find out from my guest whether the price of petrol already don't increase.
The price of petrol, I can say, have stabilized.
Because we're seeing, I think it was on the Punch newspaper this morning where marketers are proposing the 720 naira per litre because of forex scarcity, forex crisis, and other issues that they mentioned.
Do you know what I mean by has stabilized?
Okay.
We know that subsidy has been removed. So when we wake up in the morning, any price we see for fuel, we buy it. Just like you go to market, the man that sells vegetable tells you, my vegetable today is 20 naira. You buy. You don't even, you say, your own, I will go to the next person. You go to the next table. You say, my own is 21 naira. You go to the next table. All of them came back from the same oil main market. So it's the same thing. Fuel has taken a shape. Subsidy has gone. Anytime that foreign exchange challenge comes, it will affect the price. When the thing is not there, it will still affect the price. So the price will be fluctuating up or down. There is no specific price now.
But this is the shocking thing, because many people are of the opinion that in Nigeria, whatever goes up doesn't come down.
No, the only thing that will make price of fuel to come down very well is the president have told us that Port Harcourt refinery will come on stream by the end of this year. When Port Harcourt refinery comes on stream, cost of putting this fuel to our local market will be less. And that is the only thing that can make the price of fuel.
So we simply mean, because the Port Harcourt refinery is a 60,000 capacity production refinery, which means it might not be able, every marketer might not have product from there, which would also mean that some people might still have to import from outside the country. If
you say the Port Harcourt market will give us 60% capacity production, now how many percent do we have? Zero. So if 60% comes on, it will drop prices.
Yeah, understandable. But my point is simply that, like we have with the gas, where people choose to sell outside or export to make more money. If we have that situation here where the product will not be enough, it simply means that we'll still have some people who would not have another artificial struggle. If the Dangote refinery comes up, by the way, the Dangote refinery, is there any news on that, PETROAN members? Because I know that you guys have been trying to get in touch with the Dangote refinery to discuss how you can have access to these products when they start producing. We
have extended our hand of partnership with them. We were told, when it was commissioned, we were told they will come on stream July. I don't know whether
August.
Whether was it actually July?
You said July, August.
Was it actually July 2023, or it was a slip of tongue? Maybe for July 2024. Maybe we need to check that document very well. Let us know if it was a slip of tongue or it is actually this July that we are in, July, August that we are in, that we're expecting it. But when it comes on stream, whenever it does, we have already extended our hand of partnership.
Just give us an idea. How would the sourcing of product for the Dangote refinery be like? Because they would need crude to refine.
They will buy crude from, they are expected to buy crude from the Nigerian market. From the Nigerian market, they're expected to buy crude. And they will buy the crude at international market price. And then they will refine. And when they refine, they will sell at international market price. But how it will favor the country, assuming it comes on stream, is that their local input will make such that the price of bringing imported one their own is supposed to be cheaper. Let me give you the actual scenario you're asking for. I am in Port Harcourt and I am making gari. If I make gari in Port Harcourt and my station is here in Wazobia, here in Nigeria Info, this is where my production, my frying point is. If one woman brings his place, say, sell 1 cup of gari to me, I can afford to sell 1 cup to him for 5 naira. But when I pay transport and carry this gari to the market, I will need to cover the cost of transport. So I will not sell the same 5 naira I sold 1 cup right where I was frying it to the person in the market where I've already paid transport. I will sell 5 naira 50 kobo to cover the cost of transport. That is how it is also going to happen. If all things being equal, Dangote refinery comes on stream. The same what they will say to us in the local market, because the crude, the cost of them getting the crude here will not be as expensive as if they go to get the crude from far market.
Which is the next question I want to ask. Good. The crude. we know the situation. We know that we have state government,
They will get the crude.
federal government refineries.
Yes, they will get the crude.
So who would be in charge of the government refineries? Would need crude. The Dangote refinery would need crude.
Yes.
And then at the moment, we know other foreign companies were drilling crude in here that is being exported for and then re-imported. So the point is, how does the government balance who gets what first?
We have enough. The government has enough crude. You know what the quota OPEC gives to us? We even have the capacity to produce more than OPEC has given to us to export. And if OPEC has given us capacity to export maybe 20 barrels, our local refineries are working, we can export the one OPEC has given us capacity, and then we refine the other quantity which we still have. It's not going to affect our international sales at all. It's going to help us in the nation here.
All right, we'll come back to more on gas, but first let's open the phone lines. Let us hear from the listener. How much more can Nigerians take with the increase in gas? Possible increase in price of petrol to come up as well. How much more can we take? How much farther can we go? Because some people are foreseeing that, as it looks right now, before the end of the year, naira to dollar could be about 1,000 naira, and that would be a problem. How much more can we go? Because if it gets to 1,000 naira, then technically we know what happens to gas, to petrol. On Facebook, there's quite a lot of messages here. Let me start there on Facebook. I'll take your comments. Nigeria Info, 92.3 PH. The phone numbers to call are 0817 923 0003, 0817 923 0007. Dr. Mrs. Uma Olebara from Owerri says, as the economic meltdown bites harder in most homes, I encourage women to remain strong and flourish. After all, the key to life is to become skillful enough to be able to do rewarding things. Please see it as a challenge to initiate ways of adapting your income to your needs that are basically necessary for the family. Avoid frivolous spendings. Okay, I like how Mrs. Sima put this one. It's just she doesn't have the time to debate on this issue. It sounds as though she's just giving up. I'm tired of what's happening in this country. What we do now is just manage ourselves. Jerry says, thanks for treating this topic. It is time we deal. I told you about this last week, and you said it wasn't yet time. Well, it is time we deal with it because this government is clueless and has no plan. They just copy Peter Obi's plan without the blueprint. I don't know how true that is. I'm not in the cabinet of either of these men. I don't know. I only know that from their campaigns, both of them had said they would remove subsidy. Both of them had said they would. Peter Obi had said he would do production from consumption. Tinubu had said he was going to renew hope. They all had plans within their distance at the time, plans for the country during the elections. Ikechi Ekpemandu says it was inevitable, the flowing rise in the price of petrol and other things, and our country does not have any form of regulations. Okay, where Victor is on the line. Victor, good morning. Victor from Owerri, you would have to call us back. Austin is in Alu. Good morning, Austin.
Hello.
Hello, Austin. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, go on.
I woke up this morning to hear very sad news about our economy, and it's very, very bad. Just imagine where we are heading to. And I see a person somewhere telling his colleagues how he has sent money to their account. The question I ask now is that how about those ones that have 2-3 children in school? And with this smart increase within 2 or 3 months, where are we heading to? To me, I suggest this government should just start building up prison yards, because Nigerians are going to be in that prison for much because of this issue. Is this how you're going to let the port to breathe? They should be able to cushion down this issue. Things are very, very tight. Honestly, I just feel for myself, feel for everybody. No wonder people are really living this country day by day. Please, if you're listening carefully, you should make sure that at least this is not Lagos State is taking care of. This is the entire state. 774 local government that makes up this country. people that live in the villages are not, how are they going to cope? What of the ones in the city? What of those ones that are not working? You know, that they rely on this petrol to move around. They should just, the people planning this economy, mostly the president, they should sit down and think about this. It's not by running to another country to bring our soldiers over there to fight war.
All right, Austin, let's go to Muriel in Okrika. Thank you very much. Hello, Muriel. Good morning.
Thank you, Efemi. Good morning.
Morning to you, Muriel.
Is your Petrol woman on the line? Look, Efemi, firstly, I want to ask your guest. He said they are trying to deface the kerosene. I want to ask him, please let him throw more light on it. Why? Have Nigerians told the federal government that they are no longer using kerosene? We don't need it anymore. Is that why they are trying to deface it? Now, Efemi, some months back, Petrol members came to your studio and most of them, they were advocating that they want to import fuel, petroleum by themselves. Federal government should give them license. Now, license has been given, and now they now have the privilege, the opportunity to import. But we Nigerians have not seen anything. We have not seen the impact. It's the same thing. Now, Efemi, there is something that he said that shocked me. He said Nigerian liquefied natural gas, NLNG, is producing gas, and yet it's selling in Nigeria with the dollar. How dare they, Efemi? And yet they are saying the dollar, there is devaluation in the dollar. Can't they advocate? Can't they say that the gas that is produced in Nigeria is sold with the Nigerian currency? So is it possible, Efemi, that Dangote will produce fuel, and at the end of the day, even in Nigeria here, it will sell with the dollar?
Yeah, I think he said, Muriel, if you listened, Muriel, if you listened, he said it.
Dollar more. Now, at the end of the day, even if they themselves, if Port Harcourt refinery starts producing fuel, it is not possible again that the Nigerian government will start distributing this fuel to independent marketers, even with the dollar. So will it make any difference, Efemi? What is happening in this country? Why are they using us as fools? What is happening? Why are they valuing the dollar more than the naira? That is the problem we are having. Gas is going up, fuel is going up. Actually, we can't take this anymore, honestly. Nigeria should rise up and resist them. And independent marketers should do something. They should stop buying the gas with the dollar in Nigeria. Thank you.
All right, Muriel, thank you very much. Good luck is in Anthony. We'll respond to some of the questions you raised. Let's take some more. Hello, good luck. Good morning. Good luck. Okay, Temple is on the line from Romomasi. Hello, Temple.
Good morning, the very distinguished Efemi.
Yes, go on.
I salute you once again. Permit me to greet your guest, Mr. Dimkpa.
Good morning, Temple.
Yes, I celebrate you, sir. The very distinguished Efemi, Andrew. I was told that our president now, President Tinubu, built Lagos. And he was one of the brains behind what Lagos is today. But it's very much obvious to us now, to me, as a person, that the cement and gravel he was to use to build Nigeria is finished. Or is it anyone remaining? Because we cannot see this. The issue about this grammar is the essence of the international forces, the price of dollar going high and coming down. That is the problem. And I continue to ask this question. We are told that they remove fuel subsidy because they wanted the economy, they wanted the refineries to get back to its shape. Then the former administration told us how much they have invested. Can you, as a journalist, go to a Port Harcourt refinery? Because Mr. President has promised us that in December, we don't know how visible that can be actualized if nothing is happening there. But I don't really understand. See, I want to appeal. Nigerians are indeed suffering. And we are suffering. There is nobody can hide it. Even the rich are trying to shaping themselves in order to laugh on the current situation within the confines of this country. If there is anything we can do as a people to make sure that our refineries are working, because most of the marketers, they have also seen that when the refineries start working, it will be a bad market to some of them. So some of them are part of what we are suffering today. Because it's very much obvious, see the refinery is starting now. This issue of international market, where Naira does not even have one room to compete there. But if we can be able to deal with our refinery, then we'll talk about the local market. We'll
All right, Temple, thank you very much. Let's go to Buguma now. Braid, good morning. Braid, good morning to you. Morning. You're welcome, Braid.
Good morning, Efemi.
Yes.
Good morning to the guests.
Good morning. Mr. Braid.
Yeah, I don't know how.
Hello, Braid.
Hello.
Yes, Braid, we can hear you. Go ahead, Braid.
Yes, I said how will government do away with tank farm? Because I see that the tank farm is also the bottleneck we are having.
Exactly.
Now, the government comes in having an economic team to study the handover note. The chartered subsidy has gone. And that subsidy has gone. There is nothing is on ground to checkmate the subsidy removal, also the importation of fuel. I think the way we get it wrong, the government gets it wrong. There is an economic team. The refineries were not supervised. Nothing has been done. So I take this thing that they should be able to look at the tank farm and also look at the refineries we are having, and also the Dangote refinery that said it's going to work by July ending. I don't know whether it's 2024 July ending. Let them look at those things side by side and see how those refineries will work.
All right, Braid, thank you very much. Let's go to Mufasa. We could barely get you. I think the major thing you were trying to say. Mufasa is calling from NTA Road. Hello, Mufasa.
Yeah, I am. Good morning.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, good morning to the gentleman in the studio.
Good morning, Mufasa.
Thank you very much, sir. Well, for me, I think this is as a result of lack of useful leadership on the part of our leaders. I'm not just referring to this President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as alone. So successive administration have not really, told Nigerians the truth. Now look at what the guest just told us. Now that even PETROAN does not even know when Dangote refinery will come upstream. And PETROAN, as well as to the best of my knowledge, is one of the major stakeholders in the industry. Now, if the former president told us on the day they were commissioning that refinery that this refinery is going to come upstream by July, and this is almost the middle of August, we are yet to see anything coming out of it. And mind you, our money is equally part of what was used in constructing the refinery, because we saw that NFCC contributed 20%. So how come that Nigeria doesn't even know when the refinery will come upstream? That is one. The secondly, the issue of our own refinery, I don't know, can we just tell us in confidence this December, a promise that was given to Nigeria, is it realistic? I just want him to tell us that. Then secondly, please, the last question is, can you just give us an idea of what a kg of gas is costing now? Going to the increment, you said that already infected. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. We'll take Okonkwo. After Okonkwo from Rimokuta, we'll come back to the guest in the studio. Okonkwo would be the last caller for now.
Good morning, brother. If you hear me.
Good morning to you.
Happy New Monday from the Almighty
yes. God. Thank you very much. I wish you the same.
Yes, by analysis of our guest in the studio, he said that the only solution to this fuel increase is for Port Harcourt refinery to be rehabilitated. That it will produce up to 60% capacity. Then, I want to say, since the solution is to put the Port Harcourt refinery, why not the federal government to put the 3 refineries in order so that the remaining 40% that might require importation will be generated by the other refineries? Then we have 100% capacity in Nigeria here, and we will know more. The fuel will come down to either 80 naira or 90 naira per liter, and the suffering and the pains of the citizens of this country will stop. You also mentioned that one of the reasons again is because of the landing cost. Time to we come together, including himself, since he has known the truth and other people have known the truth. Can't we do our best to have this refinery here working so that everything will come down and the poor citizens will begin to survive again? Thank you.
Okonkwo, thank you very much. Let's get to you now, Mr. Dimkpa. We still have a few messages on WhatsApp to address and attend to, but quickly your response, starting with Muriel, and then highlighted quite a few, and I also have a few questions to ask you. Time is never enough, but then okay.
But we are making effort.
All right, so go ahead now. Starting from where Muriel was, and some of the things that she raised. The dollar, the fact that importing in selling at the dollar rate.
Miriam talked about license.
And license.
She said we told her, because I remember Miriam when we came to the studio last time, and we told her that we are applying for the license. Yeah. License have not been given yet to us, Miriam. Please get it clear.
So the government has said about 2 or 3 people got their license.
These are tank farm owners. One or two of them have their license approved. If you have your license approved today, it does not mean that you have started importing today. For now, there are only one or two that is able to import to join NNPC. NNPC is still a major importer. We're expecting other person, I think one group have just imported recently. But you can see if you go to Petrol members filling stations, while NNPC is selling about 600 plus, we are selling below 600 because some of us bought from the other alternative importers. And the major thing, Marian, is that when we get this license, it will still bring down competition more to the system, and it will bring down the price. But we are talking about, even though we are applying for this license, we are more interested in the refineries functioning than we getting this license. PETROAN is more interested in the refineries in Nigeria, Port Harcourt refinery, Warri refinery, Kaduna refinery. We are more interested in functioning of the refineries than even the license.
The Port Harcourt refinery, from what the president said, I don't know if if PETROAN has any knowledge about the state of work.
We go there almost every other week.
So do you think, from what you have seen when you went there, do you see December deadline?
If you hear me, I was in this studio
from a personal perspective.
Yes, I was in this studio last year when former President Buhari told us that Port Harcourt refinery will come on stream before the end of 2022. I was in this studio and we are all very hopeful. And on 27th of December 2022, I was also in this studio, and you asked me if the refinery have come on stream. You reminded me that the former president promised us that the refinery will come on stream before the end of December 2022. And I told you that day was 27th December 2022. It was not yet 31st December. Maybe something may happen by 31st December. And so if this administration has promised us that the refinery will come on stream before December 2023, I will not judge this administration based on the former administration. I will say we wish them good luck.
But you visited the refinery, you've seen work.
Now we are not satisfied with the speed of activity in the refinery. If anything has actually commenced, we are not. There's an extent we can't go to a certain limit, but now we are not satisfied. But we are praying that maybe they have their work plan to implement. Let me tell you, we're talking about the refinery in Port Harcourt. We're also talking about Eleme Road, the refinery road itself. If that refinery comes on stream and the Eleme axis of the east-west road from Eleme to Onne Junction is left the way it is, it will be difficult to even truck out the product, the PMS that the refinery will produce. So we are also saying that while you are making effort, you want to start doing the refinery, also ensure that the rehabilitation of east-west road axis of Elele to refinery Onne Junction is done. That's what Miriam said. Then Miriam, we have not seen license, but even though we're expecting the license, we are more interested in the functioning of the refinery. Then Mr. Our brother Temple talked about refineries functioning, and Temple, we agree with you. If the refineries functions, Temple will be fine to go, and that's what we are doing. That's what all our efforts are put in that.
How much is a kg of gas now?
That is Mufasa's question.
Yes,
but before I go to Mufasa's question, let me talk about Braid. This thing.
Have very few
Braid was talking about tank farms. Tank farms is actually have become a challenge. Now, these tank farms flourish in the days of importation. If the refinery begin to operate, what will be the fate of these tank farms? a very big question for the economic operators of this nation. Now, Mufasa talked about the price of gas. Now,
Yes.
gas is about 780, 800 now.
Per kg now.
Per kg now.
All right, Mr. Dimkpa,
And then
thank you very
finally,
much.
just
Time
1
will
minute.
not allow us.
Okay,
It's
Okonkwo,
already-
I would have talked about
We're
Okonkwo.
exhausted the time. My
Thank
name
you
is
very
Ifeanyi
much.
Andrew.
Thank you.
Hello, Port Harcourt is next. Stay tuned.
Mama Godwin, why you no come market yesterday?
I don't understand my body. Ain't smart.